Hi, and welcome to this Photoshop on the web tutorial. Our goal is going to be to collect a portion of this monkey skirt and turn it into a mask where we can put little flowers in that area that don't look like they don't belong there. So let's start by copying this layer. We're going to right click on layer 0. We're going to duplicate it. And then we're going to go over here to this hamburger icon and select import. I am going to grab my pattern image that I want to put on the dress. Open that. Now I've noticed that it places it on the screen, but it doesn't place it in my layers panel until I click on one of the layers. Okay, so there it is. Now I need it to be in the middle, so I'm just going to left mouse key and drag down until I see that blue line. There we go. Now I'm going to come back down to the bottom layer, and I have this selection tool already selected, but if you don't, it's the third one down, and if you don't see it, it has one of these other icons. Just click it, the flyout menu will appear, and then click it and then grab the quick selection tool. And this looks like about the right size, maybe a little bigger for this tool. So I can click the bracket on my keyboard. The left bracket will make it smaller and the right bracket will make it bigger. And this is the brackets in the bottom row of that key on your keyboard. Okay, so you don't have to. All right, so I'm going to start clicking with the left mouse button to grab the skirt. And just, it'll grab a few things that you don't want, but we can fix that later. Okay, I grabbed the foot, so I'm going to Alt key, which is going to put a minus sign on my tool. Hold down the Alt key, left click on the area that I don't want selected. Okay, that's pretty good. It also selected the bow. I don't want that selected, so I'm going to keep the Alt key down and click on that. Click on this. I might need a smaller brush tool to grab this last piece, so I'll use that left bracket key. Hold the Alt key again, click on that. Yep, it grabbed that part. I didn't want it to do that. So I'll click back here, let go of the Alt key and see if I can make a smaller brush to grab this little area right here. There we go, got it. Okay, now we're going to click Make Mask, Create Mask. Okay, we have our mask. Now what we need to do is come up to this layer, right click, create clipping mask. Now if I turn off this eyeball and I turn off this one, you'll see that originally the only thing we're working with is this white space right here. So the only thing on this bottom layer is this selection that we made in the very beginning. Now if I turn this eyeball back on, you can see that this pattern has clipped to this space. Where this pattern is important in making this work. It has to be right above the selection because it's going to clip to the selection. So that's what it did. Okay, so now we're going to come back up to, actually we're going to come here to this bottom layer, click on the, right click on this mask and click load selection. Turn our monkey back on where we can see her. Click on the eyeball and she'll come back. And what came back with her, you'll see, is the selection because we right clicked on this layer and we said reload selection. So the selection is there. All we have to do now is click on this layer, turn it blue. Okay, now you're on this layer and you have this selection. Come over here and grab the eraser. And if you want a bigger brush, you can go ahead and get one. I'm just going to use this one and I'm going to start erasing, and it's not going to affect anything except what is inside the selection. You can see that it's not, affecting her hands if I go over top of those. And I know it looks like we just pasted something that we cut out of a paperback book on here. But that's okay. We're going to fix that. Just make sure, your most important thing you want to do is make sure you erase everything here so you don't have to go back and risk messing up what you've got done. You can go back, but it's easier if you just get it all right from the get-go. So There we go. I think we got everything. And now we have our pretty little flower skirt. But we have some options here. If you look under the blend mode, we can fix this flat look. So, but to do that, you have to be on the pattern layer because that's what we're going to be changing. Click on this drop down arrow key and just go through these selections here. I always end up on linear burn, so I'm just going to go ahead and click that. I like the way it lets me see what's going on, you know, as far as the attributes of the skirt under the clip. So click that. And then I'm even going to like lighten the opacity so that it's not so, probably right about there. Looks good to me. Okay, so basically you're done now. Like this is, I can hit deselect here, which is actually very important to do for the next step. Hit deselect. Okay, so basically you have your mask, it's done. But what I don't like about it right now is that it's covering this fringe on her dress, which just makes it look unnatural. If that weren't there, I could keep all of this pattern and be perfectly happy with it. But that fringe, it's making it look artificial. So I'm going to click on the pattern layer and I'm going to grab my move tool. And this is just to show you what you can do because you're probably going to want to move this. And you can move it like this, left to right, all around, and it's just going to stay in here, only to that space that we've clipped. So what I'm going to do right now is move it up to where it's not showing below that ruffle. Like I don't want the pattern above that ruffle. So I can also rotate it if I want a different angle. Helps if you can see what you're doing. And let's try moving it a little bit more this way. All right, for sake of making this quicker, I'm just going to go ahead and move this around and get it done. I think if I turn this just a little more, I'll be happy with it. Just bear with me. There we go. Like I want that flower to come down. There we go. And we're still above the ruffle line, so now it looks pretty. Okay, basically now we are done. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you can make some beautiful things with it. And I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Okay, a quick update. I couldn't let it go. I had to see what this skirt would look like with a full set of flowers. So I clicked on the pattern layer, then I grabbed the move tool, which gives me my bounding box so that I can rotate this. And yeah, to move it left to right, just click on it with your arrow key, go left to right. You can move it up and down. But what I was noticing is that a portion of this pattern was always showing up below the ruffle. Anytime that I found a spot that I liked, there was something sticking over the edge here. So I just grabbed the eraser tool right here and I went along the bottom of here and I removed a part of the stem and I removed part of this leaf right here, all while being on this layer. So this is destructive, which means that I am taking away from this rectangle. So even if I can't see it, like if I'm running this eraser tool across this monkey, pieces of this rectangle are going to start disappearing. So the next time I try to grab my move tool and reposition things, I'm going to run into flowers that have been erased. So you can use it just for like small changes. I mean, I could erase all of this if I wanted to, but it's gone after that. So just keep in mind that for touch-ups and to help you make your design the way you want it, you can enter this layer and do a little editing. Okay, so that should be about it. Thank you for watching and happy designing.